Well, I think basically I learned everything that I needed to know to write a story when I left here. And you know, the Daily Egyptian was such a valuable experience in that I had hands-on, 4 years of experience. I didn't come out of SIU with just a textbook degree. I had, real working experience, and just the whole experience of being a reporter and an editor, leading a newsroom, and that's what, I benefited greatly from my graduate training as well, and from the wonderful editors and reporters that I work with, my colleagues at the Washington Post, but the basics I learned here. Well, what didn't I cover? I covered the administration, I covered sports, I covered cops, crime, Carbondale. I'll never forget the story that I wrote about overcrowding at the bars on the Strip, and the horrific outcome from that. The advertisers that pulled, and my posters of my face printed up, telling people that's the reason they weren't getting into the bars on Friday nights. And that was one of the series of stories that I won't forget. Well, I think it's basically the development of a work ethic. At the DE, there's a sense of pride. You're putting it out. If you don't write the stories, it's not going to come out the next day. And you really feel a sense of ownership. And there's not a newspaper that I haven't gone to after graduating from here that I don't feel a sense of ownership of and a sense of place. It's not, I don't just, clock in and clock out. I think I learned at the Daily Egyptian to really become invested in the story and invested in the news, the entire news product. And that development of your work ethic, if you want anything, you're going to have to work to get it. Well, I think it's invaluable, and I give this talk at the American Press Institute every year to journalism professors, and it's it's very difficult to learn from people who haven't done it, or who haven't spent a considerable time in the newsroom, or haven't recently been in the newsroom. That for me, that's the biggest benefit. If I were in charge of hiring at a university, I would never hire a journalism professor who hadn't spent at least a good amount of time in the newsroom. Those are the people that you learn from. All my favorite memories are connected to the Daily Egyptian. That was my life and my friends and my social circuit. I suppose I'll never forget the moment that we beat the University of Illinois in the state college newspaper competition, and I won't forget standing on top of my desk and looking out at all these reporters who worked for me and telling them for 1 minute I wanted them to shout as loud as they could for all the people who ever doubted that they could be great. And it was probably a defining moment for me as well. Anybody can come here and start from the bottom and go wherever they want to go. And that's always been the greatest thing about SIU, is that they give people a chance. And it's up to you then to make of it what you want. But this is a place where if you work hard and you put yourself into it, you're going to get benefits from it.